Hello, this is Cara Brandon from CaraBrandonCreations, and today is part one of my collaboration with Bella Creativa Designs, and I'm going to start a file folder using her SVG files from her Etsy shop along with my sunflower kit. So today I will show you the process that I kind of went through to get started. I really walked through her tutorial since I haven't used my Cricut in a long time. So let's get started and start the process. The first thing I did was hook up my Cricut, and here is a little clip of my Cricut. It was running and running and running and doing all sorts of cutting for me. It was really easy once I set up the files to get them ready. There's also a tutorial on Bella Creativa's YouTube channel that shows you how to get everything set up. Here I'm showing you all of the things, well, not all the things, but some of the things that I cut out. This is a piece that I had already glued together that will be going in my junk journal. It's really fun. She created all of these sunflower pieces to go along with my digital sunflower kit. So here is, it's kind of like a CD case, but with the sunflower on the front, and there's pieces that I still need to glue together. These are the backs to some pockets. So I was just kind of getting myself organized and figuring out what I wanted to glue together and get ready. See all the fun sunflowers? I love it. That is a belly band, and there's another pocket. And then in here, I put all of the pieces that I cut out for the file folder. These pages are priceless. They are part of her kit, the one with the pink and blue, and it shows you the part that cuts out and then also the mat. So the base and then the mat. So you want to make sure you keep those in a safe location. And then I decided, all right, let's start gluing some pieces together. So I'm gluing the sunflower belly band together. And there it is, nice and ready to go. And then I'm going to set these pieces that I glued together aside, and once my file folder is done, then I can put it together. Here I'm showing you that I'm using the different pages that I've cut out. So I think it says blank page 1 and blank page 2, and then you can flip them top to bottom so your tabs are either on the top or the bottom. And in order to make your cover, you will need to cut the tabs off the top and the bottom. So I'm cutting those off. You'll notice I've already inked around my edges, but I wanted a pocket in the front and the back, so I needed to cut those tabs off because it would have been too bulky with both parts having the tabs. Again, if you want a more thorough tutorial, head over to Bella Creativa's channel, and she has an excellent tutorial using her file folder kit. It's a previous digital that she used. I think she used her own, and she might also be doing a tutorial using the sunflower kit. I am just kind of giving you more of a overview, I guess, and then as I kind of get going, we'll be a little more thorough. Here, though, I will be honest, I was in learning curve stage. It's been a long time since I've done many things with my Cricut, and so I was trying to figure out, okay, so what tabs do I glue together and how do I do this? And her tutorial was very, very helpful. All right, so I'm working on the front cover, and you'll see that these two pieces are going to make a pocket. So I'm going to glue one tab down, and then the other tab is going to be the connector that connects the back part of my file folder. So I'm just adding some glue, and I'm going to glue that down. And I didn't glue it straight. It's a little crooked, you'll see in a minute, which is a bummer, but it was already glued, and I was like, well, once I put my mat on it, I don't think it'll be as noticeable. So then I fold the other piece over because, again, that's going to be the flap that, see right there, you can tell. I kind of glued it off a little bit. But that flap is going to connect to the back page. For those of you who are used to making mini albums or scrapbook albums, this will probably be second nature to you. It was pretty new to me, so like I said, I was learning. And so then to make the pocket, I'm going to glue these flaps down, and then once I fold that other page over, it'll make a pocket at the front of my book. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to glue that down. And once this is glued together, I'll go ahead and do some more inking around the edges. I just kind of did a little bit and then ended up cutting off some of the tabs, so I'll have to go back and re-ink some of the edges. But there we go. So far that's the front. Pretty cool. And again, you can choose which tabs you want. If you wanted the top and the bottom or the top and the middle, depending on what files you cut out. So then I did the same thing for the back cover, and then I'm going to glue in the spine. So I have my front page and my back page created, and I did the same thing to make the back page a pocket. This right here, this rectangle, is also a cut file. There's a larger spine and then a smaller spine option. I went with the larger spines just so I could make a really full, fun file folder. And then I'm going to glue this down. And then once that is glued down, I'm going to put the spine. So I'm going to glue it on one side and then the other. And then I'm going to burnish it down a little bit. And then I decided that I wanted a second spine. You really don't have to do this. I just kind of happened to have it cut out, and so I went ahead and did it, thinking it might make it a little more sturdy, so I added the second spine, but you really wouldn't have to. And then trying to line it up nice and straight. And there we go. So there is the outside cover of my file folder. And it has a pocket in the front and the back. And there I am. I'm still stuck on the fact that I didn't glue it together exactly straight. I was trying to fiddle with it, see if there's something, maybe I could do something. But anyway, so there's the cover. And then I'm going to start working on the flips and the flaps that go in the center. So here again, I'm referencing the page, the file folder page, and I'm showing you that there's the page 1 and the page 2 that I've cut out, and then again for the back. And then I cut out 2 of the spines. So then we have the side pockets, and you can have the tab at the top or the bottom depending on how you fold your flaps. So then I was trying to decide how I wanted my pocket and if I wanted to flip out. And so I'm just kind of getting them arranged. And so I wanted one tab at the bottom and one at the top. So when it would fold in, you would kind of see one above and one below. So then again, I'm showing you I'm going to cut off those tabs because we don't need them since it's going to be a fold and not a pocket. Or a flip, I should say, and not a pocket. So I'll just trim these off. I'm using this cutter because my other paper cutter needs a new blade. And so this one was doing a better job. Get it nice and lined up. All that inking, just cut it all off. That's all right. So here I'm going to ink up those sides since I cut off the tabs. Do that really quick. And then they will be ready to add as the flaps for the file folder folio. I'm going to glue that flap down so that one will fold out. And then I'm going to do the other one, fold it down so that will fold out as well. Just getting it nice and lined up. And then I did change my mind. So I fiddle with it for a minute until I get it just the way I want. Once I have it the way I want, I decide to do my corner punch on the one corner. And then I'll do that also on the other side. So that's nice and rounded. Again, something you don't have to do, but I did it for this folder. I also did it because Katie in her video did it. And I'm still fiddling. I can't decide which way I want my folds or my tabs. I think we have it. I think this is it. All right, so now I'm gonna add some glue so I can add this. So it'll fold out. And you don't have to worry about where the flap is because you're going to end up covering it, or not the flap, but the tab, because you're going to end up covering it with a, so that right there, you're not going to have to worry about it because it's going to be covered with a page from the kit. Like a, what am I trying to think of? Page liner, that's not the word. And then I'm also going to do the other thing, the other flap on the other side. And now I have my flips on both sides. So it folds in together and then both sides will fold out. Pretty neat. Okay, so now that I have the cover put together and the flaps, I'm going to work on the flip that's going to go inside the middle of the file folder. And I'm using the blank page 1 and the blank page, I think I'm using, yeah, blank page 1 twice. And then I also cut out the small spine that I'm showing you right there. And again, we need to cut off the top flap and the bottom flap because these are not going to be pockets. They're just going to be like a little flip inside of the file folder. So I'm cutting off the top and the bottom, and I'm going to do that to both of the blank pages. And then once those are cut off, we can decide which way, or I decided which way I wanted my tabs at the top or the bottom. And then I fold down the flap for those. And here I'm deciding which way I want them to go. And then because I decided I wanted the tab on the bottom, I just flip the tab to the other side. And then we add some glue, and then we're going to glue those together. Make sure it folds. And it's nice and glued together. Looking good. And then I add the middle binding. Not binding, but the little, it's more of a decorative piece, so I inked it up. You could use a piece of scrapbook paper or really whatever you want, but I just used a piece of the white and inked around the edges. So So I glue that on, and then I'm going to glue this into the file folder. Make sure my creases are nice and straight. And then that is going to get glued in the middle of the file folder. Oh, before I glue it in, I inked around my edges, and then I go ahead and glue it in. Oh no, I round my corners first. It does give a nice finished edge. And I'm going to add some glue and then stick that down. And it's coming together. It's pretty cool. I just love the versatility of the SVG files. You can make as many flips and flaps and folds as you would like. It's pretty fun. Alright, so that's nice and glued in. Make sure I burnish it down. Now that I have the basic part of the file folder put together, in the next part I'm going to be adding some more flips and tuck spots and all other fun goodies that are also part of the SVG files. And then along with that, I'm going to be adding some of my digital kits to decorate the pages. So that's coming up in the next part. But it's really fun to have the base finished and then kind of add from there. I think once you have the base together, it gets even more fun. So then you can decide where you want to put your tuck spots and your folds and all that good stuff. All right, so come on back for part 2, and I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.